Yeah.
Yo, we here at episode 63 of the 3012 Innings podcast. Here with the guys. How y'all doing today?
I'm good, doing
Good,
good.
brother.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Got a couple topics today. Really good. Excited to talk about a few of these. So we'll get straight into it. First thing we're going to talk about is Brandon Ayuik coming out and requesting a trade from the 49ers. Just go and tell me how you feel about that, Byron.
Brandon Ayuik. And he's also holding out, which is a great thing. I mean, he's kind of like doing a hold out, hold in kind of situation where he's showing up because he don't want to get that 50K fine today, which I understand. So he's showing up to, the facilities, not practicing, doing his thing, which is understandable 100% without having a new contract on the line. You don't want to put your body on the line if anything could happen and not being able to get paid or having a less likely amount, a lesser amount of money due to a possible injury. So sit out / sit in, and as long as you need to until that contract is fulfilled. And I feel like you can be paid in a decent amount of range as the decent receiver, or you can go to a new team, which I think would probably be a little bit better for you. So you can be regarded as a number one option. I mean, even last season, you did about 70 to 75 catches a game, which is wonderful as a receiver. You put up over 1,200 yards receiving. Um, I feel like in your maybe the second to third option as a receiver, and also behind MCM, I mean CMC. I'm sorry. So that's still great numbers. But if you were to go to another team when you are possibly the number one option and get, let's say, 100+ balls, and let's see what you can do with those kind of catches. So, I mean, I think this is good for him, but I think it'll end up possibly being worked out with the San Francisco 49ers, and we'll see what that money looks like. Brock Purdy's coming up too.
Give me your little take on that, Brock.
To me, it helps me understand how the NBA players, as a former football player, the NBA players are more valuable to their league because NFL players seem so replaceable. That's why, like somebody like Kevin Durant, when he was on the Brooklyn Nets, he could force them to do anything they wanted to do, and they had to do it. Hey, you want Kyrie? Sign him. You want James? Sign him. Whoever I want, you got to do it. With the 49ers, not only do they not have to trade him because he's under another year of team control, but they didn't have the franchise tag to use after this year. So it's not even the fact that they don't want to trade him, which the general manager, John Lynch, has came out and said. But if they didn't want to pay him for up to 2 years from now, raise his salary or anything like that, they don't have to. And like Byron just mentioned, if he misses any of those days of now we're in training camp, the NFL season, Hall of Fame game next week, we're so close to the season, he's going to miss out on a significant amount of money for each day he misses. That's why I just think that it'll be hard when the collective bargaining agreement comes up and these players, I feel like they're always going to be looked at as in a two-person partnership, they're clearly the one that has to be submissive versus in other leagues, how the players run the leagues and they command certain things. They already drafted his potential replacement, which I think was a negotiation tactic. Ricky Pearsall is a good prospect. I was surprised to see him taking that high, and I think it had direct correlation between the pending contract negotiations for Brandon Ayuik. Speaking on just his trade request real quick, as far as where I think he can go, I don't know if that's something we're going to discuss, but I saw the Chargers. I'd love a situation like that. Like Byron said, I was thinking of that specific number, 100 balls. I think that'd be a great situation for him. Maybe he can get up to around because he led the league per reception last year, I think 17.9. I think he can make a leap from 1,200 to around 1,600, which is up there with the best wide receivers in the league. So, and if that happens, he definitely won't have to hold out or publicly request a trade request to get what he believes that he deserves to be paid, and with those numbers, what he deserves to be paid. So, I love the Chargers. I think he make a great mentor, but a dynamic duo with Marvin Harrison Jr. in Arizona. And hey, I gotta throw my team in there too. We'll love you on the JTS because Mike Williams, we don't know if he's gonna be healthy, and he'd be a great compliment, him and Garrett Wilson. So for sure.
Facts.
So, what I want to say about him probably coming out and publicly requesting a trade, it's kind of more of just a chess move. Him and the 49ers are kind of just playing chess right now. Him kind of showing that he's not going to give in to what they think he deserves to be paid, opposed to what he thinks he deserves to be paid. Like you said, he had 75 receptions last year, about 1,200 yards. Was clearly the best receiver on that team. But as far as how everything's going to go, I just don't know, because I know the holding out stuff. Two players that I can think of that it impacted a lot in a bad way was Le'Veon Bell and Melvin Gordon. Just with how they were trying to prove their point, they wound up getting the money, and they just kind of couldn't recover. I think that just has to deal with a lot of actually being at the facility and going through all the trainings and workouts there are a bit different from doing the stuff by yourself at home with a trainer. But I do think if he was traded and he had the opportunity to be a number one receiver, it'd benefit him in multiple ways. I know we talked about it before. I kind of had my doubts, but looking through the numbers and stuff, like you said, hey, come to the Giants. You and Malik Nabers can make me happy. Hey, something. But I definitely feel like if he was to get traded, he'd wind up going to a team that needs a number one receiver. And after he, after the season goes on and on, I'm pretty sure he'll prove his point that he deserves to be paid like a top 10 receiver in the league.
But quick question. Even if, because we expect him have an impressive season, he's a great player. They still could use the franchise tag on him. So how do you think he'll go about going into the season if they don't give him a deal, like a brand new deal for the season starts?
You have no choice but to be professional. I mean,
Yeah,
eventually you want a deal. So, I mean, you have no choice. I mean, but we all grown. I come in, this a job. I don't gotta talk to you at all. Do my job, go home. Don't talk to me. We here, you did me wrong. I'm gonna show up to my job because you have to be professional. You still gotta go out there and put up the yard. So you can do, once you do get to that maybe 1 year to the 2 years after you get tagged, now you're a true free agent. You still have to go negotiate with a lot of these people, and the owners are friends. So it's not like you have to, be super, how would say, disgruntled and not show up, make yourself look unprofessional. Then these other organizations see this. How would you feel? How would I think you would be whenever you come to my organization? Would you be very disgruntled if I have to say, hey, let me give you a little bit less, try to keep the team together? Or how if we negotiate, now you're going to show up, be professional. I know you're going to play no matter how things are going right now or how things would go. And I know whatever going on, you have to show up to the field, you're going to do it, which is, he's doing it right now with, like I said, holding in by still showing up to the facilities, probably still like doing somewhat of a workout, showing that the team, hey, I'm going to show up, but I'm not going to get on that field.
Yeah, I think you made a great point when you just said, like, the owners are friends and they don't got no problem getting rid of talented players. Like, as we
they're going to protect that shield.
Yeah, as we saw, Colin Kaepernick is never going to play in the league again.
Ever.
Now that's, maybe there's some other stuff going on with that. But at the same time, we've seen countless other players, even though they had a lot of talent, the NFL had no problem saying, yeah, we don't want nothing to do with you, and we don't hear from them again. And so I think you made a great point with that one. I was going to bring up a few people, but I ain't even going to do it because I don't want to use negativity on it. But, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think he comes in the same mindset that he would come in if he had the contract. Kind of just putting his issues with the general management aside. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure dude loves his teammates and stuff. So, I think he comes in and just handles his business for his teammates, kind of just proving his point to hopefully get paid by the 49ers. Because I think right now the 49ers are probably the best fit for him. He has all these weapons surrounding him. That means he's going to get the one-on-one matchups all day, and we see what he's been doing to these one-on-one matchups.
Yeah.
I'd rather be doubled if I'm gonna get paid.
What?
Because I'm open.
All righty. Next, we're going to talk about Russell Westbrook. Recently just came out that he was waived and he did sign with the Nuggets. I believe it was a 2-year deal on the veterans minimum. How do we feel about the Nuggets picking up Russell Westbrook? You want to go first, bro?
Yeah. Nuggets and Russell Westbrook. I've been thinking about this for a couple of days, actually. I think he's going to be a great addition to that bench. I hope he doesn't start. But I understand why he was disgruntled not playing as many minutes as he was. Hopefully teams don't defend him how they was defending them on the Lakers and some with the Clippers, like leaving them wide open. I do think the motion offense is going to be good for him. It's going to unlock a lot of his game instead of, because we know he's going to have the ball a lot, but he's also going to be cutting a lot and utilizing what he's been known for his entire career, his athleticism. I think he's going to be dominant in that area, especially if he can get his field goal percentage at the rim up a little higher as his athleticism suggests, even though he's getting a little older, getting longer in the tooth and things of that nature. If he can get to that mid-range, not something that the Nuggets do often, but I think him and Aaron Gordon are going to be a great tandem on the defensive end when they're playing the pick and rolls and the coverages that they're going to be put in. Both of those two, I could imagine teams, obviously they've been doing it for years, but targeting Jamal and Jokic in that pick and roll situation. Russ is a great leader. I think he's going to be awesome for players like Christian Braun on that second unit. If Braun doesn't move into the first unit with them losing KCP, and I think he's going to be a solid fit there. I think this is a better fit for him than, again, the Lakers and the Clippers. Gets him away from home, so we won't feel that pressure of being at home in Southern Cal. Even though we saw you in the Not Like Us video, not sea walking and all that, my boy. But I think it's going to be a good fit for us, and honestly, I'm happy for him.
I'm going to go ahead and put some input on that, Byron.
Nah, most definitely. I'm out here in Denver, so I get to hear a lot of the sports radio stations, and they're ecstatic about having Russell Westbrook. They've been talking about it for about at least almost half a month now, for about 3 weeks. They're ecstatic. He's going to be on that second unit for sure, bringing that extra energy, that extra push that they're in desperate need of. When Jokic and Jamal Murray were off the floor last year, the pace significantly dropped as for pushing the ball. In that second unit, Russell Westbrook will be able to elevate that and to bring those numbers up probably a lot more with his phenomenal IQ of the game and him being a wonderful passer. It's definitely going to be a good thing for Denver. Hopefully they can bring him in, embrace him, the way Russell Westbrook loves to be embraced as a true one of them's. He's those solid guys. He just wants to be respected. plays the game and at a high intensity and want to win. And hopefully they mesh that with their championship DNA that they already have and take that team to a new level. They're missing a lot of shooting with KCP, but hopefully the assists with Russell Westbrook will help it out.
So, I think him going to Denver plays in his favor and Denver's favor. Just because, I mean, you see the type of passing, type of ball movement Denver has there. Like Brock said, with Russ cut in, filling lanes and stuff, I feel like the ball's going to find him. I'm not going to say he's going to have like a resurgent great year, but in the offense, I can see him at the ceiling top. He can put up 15, 16 a game coming off the bench for them. I do think he's going to be playing more minutes than he was with the Clippers. He's always been a great passer, always brings that defense, or he brought the defensive intensity last year. But if there's one thing he's going to do is he's always going to play 100%, whether they're down 20 or anything like that. And I feel like that's what Denver needs on their team, kind of that dog killer mentality that Russ has and he's going to be bringing to them. And kind of just another playmaker, like Byron said, when Murray or Jokic are off the court, they didn't really have that true playmaker to kind of help steer things and keep things going how they like to go. Because the Nuggets do like to play fast pace and move the ball around a lot, and they do like to get up a lot of shots. So I definitely think that plays in the Russ's favor, and I like the move from the Nuggets to go ahead and pick him up. And like I said, gives him a fresh start. And like I said, Russ used to be my favorite player once upon a time for the longest. So, I'm always rooting for him.
You think he has a chance to win Sixth Man of the Year?
If he can put up, like I said, the type like 16, 5 and 5 a game, I think he has a chance to be kind of in the running for it, yeah. Because what Malik Monk won at averaging like 15 points last year or something like that? 15, 16 points a game?
So, I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on it. But I thought Malik was a little higher than that.
Let me look real quick.
But,
Doug, I know.
What happened? No, but I think
He's at 15.
15?
15, yeah, 15, 3 rebounds, 5 assists.
Yeah, I think Russ' numbers will be, surpassing that. I'm actually surprised by that, to be honest. Malik was hurt a lot last year, but
wait, was it Nas Reed that won rookie or Sixth Man of the Year?
Yeah.
I think Nas Reed on there.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
look at
And
those
he averaged 13.5, 5 and 1. So
Sheesh.
if Russ can put up those numbers, he should win Sixth Man of the Year.
Yeah. It depends. I mean, we expect the Nuggets to be a winning team too. So he gonna have a great shot. But yeah.
All right. Next thing we're going to talk about, I'll have Byron go first with this because I know Brock's probably going to have a lot to say about it since it includes his team. Going to be FSU and Clemson, pretty much going against the ACC, the case that's been going on for quite a while. No, Brock's been following a lot. Pretty much just the ACC's trying to not let FSU and Clemson leave just because they kind of know they know the value that those two teams bring. So you want to just give your input on that, Byron?
My input that I have, I mean, ACC basically just gatekeeping, two wonderful teams that definitely deserve their shine, definitely deserve pushing their status in a fight for the national championship. And the ACC hasn't really been bringing that for those teams in particular. It's a wonderful conference. It has always been back in the day for years, but now that it's weakened a lot, those two teams I feel like needed a chance to be released and possibly go to the SEC, like teams like Texas and Oklahoma got to, and to raise their schools camaraderie and then schools money for their NILs and different things like that with the new change of the college football landscape. ACC, I feel like it's unfair for y'all to hold these teams back. I feel like, yes, I was reading a little bit of articles. You guys want to keep the traditions and the long lasting financials for y'all ACC long term, but it's not going to happen. Eventually, you guys are going to have to lose these teams and let these guys, these schools go on and be great. That's all I got to say about it.
Let's hear it, Brock.
So if y'all not familiar, again, conference realignment. South Texas, OU go to SEC, and host teams go to the Big 12 from Washington, Oregon, USC, UCLA, including the Big 12 as well. They picked up about 4 to 6 teams as well. Those moves were motivated by the TV contracts. The SEC and the Big 10 have the richest TV contracts in all of college football, actually by a long shot. There is actually just recently a voting process surrounding the college football playoff where the SEC and Big 10 actually took more control over the amount of teams that could get into the playoffs. And there's a perception issue. And it's even greater now that if you're not in what's the Big Two, which is those two conferences, then you're in sort of a lesser league. And that includes the ACC and Big 12. And it was a big reason why Florida State, as an undefeated team, including beating 2 SEC teams, was left out of the college football playoff last year. I think Florida State would have waited to go to court if the snub didn't happen, maybe even a year. But I think that pushed them over the edge because there had been rumblings for over a year about their about being in the league and the league's perception, but also the financial gap that the TV contracts bring. So if the average Big Ten school is getting paid around 75 million, and the SEC is getting paid around 68 to 70 million, the ACC and the Big 12 are down there in the 40 millions per school. And I just can't fathom, and I understand why the Florida State and Clemson Brain Trust can't fathom being paid 30 million less than the likes of Rutgers and Vanderbilt, not over the life of a contract, but per year, annually. You're getting paid 30 million less. There's no shape or form or fashion where you can continue to compete at the highest level, because obviously that gap is going to be filled with upgrading your football operations facilities, your nutrition staffs, your recruiting staffs, paying your head coaches more, which is going to lead the head coaches to wanting those power two jobs. And we ultimately know a lot of it is going to go to paying the players more, especially when they become employees. They're probably going to have higher salary caps than the other two leagues or any league below them, really. So you're incentivized to be in those two leagues. Clemson and Florida State want to continue to compete at the highest level. Obviously, Clemson has a few recent national championships, Heisman Trophy winners. Florida State has an incredible history, from my liking, the best history in all of college football, especially when they're 50 years younger than everybody else. I digress. But at the end of the day, the Noles and the Clemson Tigers want to continue to compete at the highest levels. So they felt like what they did, they had no choice. And that's why going to the courts, I believe they'll eventually get out. It's not about if they'll get out, it's about how much they're going to pay to get out. So essentially what Florida State and Clemson are fighting for is, do y'all really own the rights to broadcast our home games? And so with the ACC arguing, yes, we do, that's what Florida State and Clemson are trying to bring up, so they can purchase those media rights back at the cheapest amount possible. I personally think it's going to end in a settlement. Numbers that have been thrown out there have been $500 million, which I can understand. If it's already that high, you might as well go to court. Along with the exit fee, which is around $140 million. That's what Maryland and another team paid Louisville. No, it was Maryland and somebody else. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but when they exited the ACC for the Big Ten, and OU in Texas, they wanted to get out 1 year earlier, and they paid $50 million. And Florida State is trying to get out of the contract that extends to 2036. But there is an early look-in February of 2025 where the ESPN could choose to terminate the entire contract with the ACC or institute a clause where they don't owe any money to broadcast those games anymore. So that's why there's been a lot of hoopla over the summer about is there going to be an announcement from particularly FSU, and or Clemson with that early look ahead in 2025 and then another one in 2027. So ultimately, as a Noles fan, I want to get out of the ACC as quickly as possible. I appreciate all the ACC championships. By the way, I think it's around 15, and Miami has 0 in 20 years. I had to get it straight, but I'll end off in saying this: when we get out, I hope to see us playing in the Big Ten. It's a national conference, literally from coast to coast. We can go from Florida State to Michigan to USC to Washington, literally all the corners. And again, it's about media contracts. And Fox and the Big Ten want to be able to broadcast their products across every time zone throughout the entire day. So again, when you have every time zone locked in, you have a super valuable product. And on top of that, just coming from being an FSU fan, will be the flagship brand in Florida versus in the SEC. Florida's been there for really their entire existence, for real. And they already voted against adding us, but at the same time, will be the most powerful Southern brand inside of the Big Ten, and that leads to a lot of negotiating power when the Big Ten media deal comes up in 2029 or 2030. I believe 2030. They're going to renegotiate again before the ACC's first deal is over, and we'll be able to even get more increased terms as far as maybe unequal revenue sharing, the players, paying our players, upgrading our facility, and our brand recognition. If y'all play NCAA 25, y'all know that's important, and things of that nature. So, hey, man, I appreciate y'all listening to my TED Talk. Y'all go research it on your own. Anybody watching this video is a very interesting case.
Sound a lot like the ACC, that crazy ex-girlfriend that don't want to let go.
At least she the wife that if it's divorce, you want everything. You want everything.
You hit them with the prenup. But nah, like I said, it just sounds like the ACC is trying to hold on to the two best teams, the two most watched teams in the ACC that they have, kind of just trying to keep the money stacking up, kind of showing that they really just they care about more of their conference rather than the well-being of college football. As you, Clemson, FSU, whether they go to the Big Ten, SEC, wherever they go, that's bigger brand of football. I guarantee you it's going to be more competitive games between those two teams, whether they're in the ACC, SEC, because they can hang and bang with those teams. They can hang and bang with the best of the best. This is probably one of the best FSU teams this year that they've had in a while. And it kind of sucks that they're going to be stuck having to go against ACC type competition opposed to having great, better competitive games. But like you said, I'm sure they'll get out of it. It's kind of just when and how much it's going to cost them.
Yeah, and one more thing. When you look at it too, the ACC looked at what happened to the Pac-12, which is a historic, awesome conference, got over 100 years of history. When it came to that money, everybody did. Even Oregon, Oregon, a great brand, was willing to accept a 50% share of the Big Ten's money versus trying to make it work in the Pac-12. Same thing with Washington. They accepted 50% shares, meaning they're getting paid 50% less of what the Big Ten is going to play Northwestern, Iowa, and Rutgers. So it's about again, it's business at the end of the day. College is, I think, personally, why I love it more than the pros and why a lot of people feel that way is because it wasn't always about business. Like the rivalries are more real. It seems more traditional. It seems steeped in like emotional connection. But at the end of the day, it's businessmen running these things. It's businessmen. They're trying to make money, secure their legacies. I get the ACC's point of view. You lose your two biggest football powerhouses, literally your only teams that have the capability of winning a national championship, besides, little brothers down south in Miami, who, every 40 years or whatever, those three teams are the only ones that have the capability of winning a national championship. You lose two of those, your whole conference is over with. The Big 12 is probably going to take the teams that don't get invites to the Power Two, and then the Power Two will take Clemson and FSU, and now you got thousands of people literally out of a job. So, and it is millions involved, nearly billions. Like I said, $500 million per school is what they're seeking. So they're seeking $1 billion from both Florida State and Clemson in order for them to actually over $1 billion with the exit fees. But I digress.
That's tough.
Big time.
All right. Last topic we got is the NFL has been coming out with the top 100 players. We're going to go through 100 through 80 for you guys. I'm pretty sure in these next coming podcasts, we'll start knocking down the other ones.
Yep.
So with the number 100 player coming in, we have Zaire Franklin, outside linebacker for the Indianapolis Colts. You want to tell me how you feel about that, bro?
Just quickly with each of these, we got to go through 20 of them. Good run stopper. Don't like him in coverage all that much, but he's great against the run. He's still on the younger side. I think he has a few more years in front of him in his prime, because he is in his prime, and I hope he gets paid. And I think Indianapolis is going to rise this year, and I think he's the best linebacker on the team, definitely at this point.
Yeah. Go ahead, Byron.
Oh no, man, I'm not too familiar with this game, but as I see here, the jaw dropping in 2018, 2020, and 2023, all over 100 tackles, solo, gets to the ball very, very fast. Like Brodrick was saying, very, very good run stopper, and hopefully he keeps doing his thing.
Yeah. He was top 2 in solo tackles and combined tackles this year at 107 and 179. I'm not too familiar with him, but by looking at this and what you were saying about the run stopping, kind of reminds me of maybe Shaquille Leonard, who the Colts used to have. He was a great run stopper, not too good in coverage. But this can probably be the second coming for them. He said, I do think he's the best linebacker on the team after looking at the stats. He should get paid, and he can be the anchor in the middle of a already great defense that they have. Number 99, we got Levante David of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, outside linebacker. You want to go ahead, Byron?
Ooh, that boy. Oh, nah, I'm just playing. He be doing his thing, man. As from not being ranked last season to making this list is always a great honor to be recognized for your great talents. 100+ tackles, making the NFC South crown. He's a wonderful linebacker, winning the championship back with Tom Brady. I'm just happy he made the list to see he hasn't fallen off completely, because a lot of those defenders that was on that championship team aren't doing so well.
For sure. You want to go ahead, bro?
Yeah, I think he's Mr. Consistent, but consistently good as well. This man is 33 years old. He's playing linebacker, the physicality of that position, but also his wisdom in the game. There's probably a scheme. There's probably not a scheme that he hasn't seen, or an action that an offense can try to involve him in that he can't diagnose. So he's right here. That's a family member of my favorite team. I really liked the Bucks growing up because of that reason. And he was damn near on the teams then. so Yeah, man. I'm glad to see him back on this list, and actually, I expect him to make it again this year as well. Or this coming season as well.
Like you said, he's shown that he's going to be consistently good. Just shows the hard work that he's put in, day out. Probably one of the best IQs in the game as far as linebacker. Always seems like he's in the right position to hit the hole. Kind of. He had 15 plus tackles for loss last year.
Yeah.
So very consistent with that. 100 plus tackles, 3 plus sacks. Only player in the league to do that, I think. Yep, the lone player in the NFL to do that. So I definitely can see why he works his way back onto this list. Happy for him, and like you said, I'm pretty sure to see great numbers from him again this year. Number 98, we got Cameron Hayward of the Pittsburgh Steelers, D tackle. You want to go ahead, Brock?
Yeah, another consistent guy, another super consistent. He's in his 30s as well. Been dominant really his whole career, especially I think he made at least Pro Bowl his second year in the league, which is a long time ago now. He's been a consistent Pro Bowler, all pro level player for the Steelers defense. Even as they cycle through a bunch of star players, Pittsburgh always got a dominant defense. And again, he's great against the run, even better against the pass with age. He was more known as a run stopper earlier in his career. Now he's more evened out, but probably even more known as a pass rusher as far as obviously getting to the quarterback, but also affecting the collapsing of the pocket, which has become more important over the past NFL seasons when we see the dominance of the Hall of Famer Aaron Donald. I also think Devontae Davis going to the Hall of Fame and Cam Hayward are going to be Hall of Famers. But we see that reflected in the NFL draft. I was going to mention the D tackle, but he just, got accused of some freaky stuff. So I ain't even going to say it. But he was a prime example of what, collapsing the pocket from the D tackle position is so important nowadays. And Cam Hayward does it at an excellent level.
You want to go ahead, Byron?
Yeah, stay inside. Now Cam Hayward, man, 6-time Pro Bowl, 3-time All Pro, wonderful, wonderful, consistent player. I think on this list last year he was about 45. Now he's 98. So I mean, I don't think that's a drop off in his game. I think that's just the increase of the younger guys, coming into their own and pushing their talents up. Like Brodrick said, consistent player. He stuffs that middle of the defense for the Steelers. He's his own steel curtain in the middle of defense for them and a great run stopper. I play G Stacks David all the time in Madden, and this man get all the sacks with Cam Hayward, which is crazy because how old he is. But he's very, very wonderful. He's a beast in the middle of the hole, and he's gonna get to your quarterback or your running back and disrupt the whole game. And I love his talents. Hall of Famer.
So he's that anchor of the D line for the Steelers. Probably the up there for the best D line in the league when they're all healthy. His numbers were down a lot last year, but he was coming off a groin injury that he needed to recover from. He needed surgery, had a stint on the IR with that, and I feel like that kind of messed up his season and his flow. He never was really kind of able to get into the form that he normally does. I feel like with just having a healthy off season, coming in having a healthy season, I expect his stock to still rise even at this old age. And I expect him to be higher on this list next year.
I want to say this real quick. When it comes to injuries, like I didn't know, like when I used to hear hamstring growing injuries, I used to think players were soft. Like before I started playing, if they didn't play through that, because I'm like, come on, man, hamstring growing. Until I started playing, and like, yo, you literally can't play if if you pull a hamstring, like how like debilitating that is. Like it literally feels like it's difficult to do anything. So
ain't no bending your leg or nothing, boy.
Yeah. Like try to run and you got a messed up. First of all, it's in your mind, like, because it's such an injury. It's that type of injury that like can happen over and over again if you don't take the proper amount to like heal from. But yeah.
No, you're right, 100%. That groin, I've had groin injuries. Yeah, you ain't going nowhere at all.
All right, next we got Terry McLaurin of the Washington Commanders, wide receiver. You want to go ahead and tell me how you feel about him, Byron?
Let's go, Big Shine, Terry McLaurin. He got some wonderful rookie quarterback and Jaden Daniels. Going to see what that rookie vet duo looks like for this season. I mean, this man's been putting up 1,000+ yards consistently. I think he's going to be one of the top receivers if they don't end up getting, Brandon Ayuik. Hopefully, maybe, quote unquote. Um,
They did play
but
together, college.
yeah, that'll be wonderful for that chemistry duo. They gave Chase to Burrow, and that chemistry is one of the most undeniable. So that'd be nice, if we could have him as the college quarterback and receiver duo. Would be pretty good. But Terry is a wonderful receiver. He knows how to get open. He knows how to play this game. Um, and he's had 10 different quarterbacks, which is ridiculous since he's been in the league since 2019. So I mean, even with all these different receivers to be regarded as a decent receiver in the NFL, you got to be doing your thing. And I'm pretty sure he's had subpar quarterbacks. So I mean, with the wonderful quarterback that you're about to get now, hopefully, in Jaden Daniels, able to elevate your game and take it to the next level and be higher on this list.
Sure. You want to go ahead, bro?
Yeah, another superstar, Ohio State wide receiver. Wide receiver, what do you know?
Yeah.
Great deep threat, great route runner. Again, this is a top 100 list. NFL rosters, at least just the final rosters, stopped at 52 or 53, one of those numbers. So to have that multiplied by 30 through 32, to be a top 100, you're elite. And I still think he's an elite player. And like Byron said, I think him and Jaden Daniels are going to do some pretty good things. I just don't know if he's going to have time to get the ball with that offensive line.
For sure. Like I said, I'm kind of surprised that he's not a little bit higher on this list, just from hearing what Byron said with all the different quarterbacks and him still being able to post 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons. But it kind of reminds me of the situation D-Hop was in with the Texans, where he never had that one stable quarterback. And then Deshaun Watson came in, and him and Deshaun Watson kind of took over that scene there. Hopefully that's what him and Jaden Daniels can do. I mean, I am a Giants fan, so hopefully they do that every game except for when they play the Giants. But I can see that being a possibility if everything pans out how the Commanders think it will. 96, we got Deion Dawkins, Buffalo Bills offensive tackle. You want to go ahead and tell me how you feel about him, Brock?
I figured with his measurables coming out of college that he would eventually be on this list one day. Strong on that offensive line, great pass protector. Think he can be better in run support. I believe he just got paid to a big deal. Offensive linemen, they don't get as much credit as they deserve. I have experience playing on the offensive line, and that junk is extremely hard. You got people that's trying to get somewhere and you trying to be in front of it. It sounds simple, but it is not as simple as what people might think. So to have a strong start at that position, especially when you got a mobile quarterback like Josh Allen, is absolutely needed. So, yeah, shout out Deion Dawkins.
Go ahead, Byron.
No, definitely. Fourth highest pass blocking win rate, at 6.9. Wonderful blocker, like Brodrick said, coming out of college and being drafted to a wonderful team with a great quarterback in Josh Allen. He shows his talents. I've never had to be in the trenches, but being down there as an offensive tackle, guard, center, anything, I'm pretty sure to be as great as he is a very, very hard thing to do. 3 years in a row, Pro Bowl, deserving of your 3-year contract, my man. Keep doing your thing.
Making this list as an offensive tackle kind of speaks volumes. Just because it shows how good you are at doing probably one of the hardest jobs in the NFL.
Especially these D tackles nowadays.
Him being on the edge, he's gonna have to face them elite edge rushers. And for him to be able to protect Josh Allen the way he does, with the rankings that Byron said, shows a lot. 3 straight Pro Bowls, probably one of the best O tackles in the league at this point.
Definitely.
And I expect him to keep doing the same things that he's been doing. Number 95, we got Julian Love of the Seattle Seahawks, safety.
Let me make it real quick for me. Just received a big contract from the Seahawks. They traded him, expecting him to be a third safety last year. I believe he came from y'all boys, ain't it, Khalil? But yeah, man, he deserved the contract. I think he led the Seahawks in interceptions last year. And that was coming off a bench, and obviously it was a big reason why they let Jamal Adams, who just signed with somebody. Fans get in the comments, let me know who he signed with. I know he just signed with somebody. And then Quandre Diggs is also let go. Huh?
Don't care, betrayed us.
But yeah, for sure.
You want to go ahead, Byron?
Love game, man. I really do. Wonderful safety. Gets out there, like Brodrick said, led the team in interceptions. Solo tackles 85, got his first Pro Bowl nod this year, which is wonderful. Great game all over the field. Just continue to elevate your game, brother, and get higher on this list.
Coming off his best career year after leaving the Giants, obviously the true definition, now I got a ball without you. I did want the Giants to resign this man. I knew he had the good potential, and now it's starting to show kind of as he continues to elevate his game. He's gotten better every year of his career. Like I said, with this being his best year, him getting that Pro Bowl nod, expect the same numbers or his numbers to increase this year, as I guarantee his role in the Seahawks defense is gonna increase as well, especially with a few of their safeties departing, I believe.
Yeah. And
I just want to know something.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You good, bro? My fault. I just want to note something real quick. People come to the Jets to revive their old career. People leave the Giants in their young career to make it better.
Hey.
Hey, it's true.
I can't say none of that, man. I'll take my 2 Super Bowl.
We get all the old players.
I'll take my 2 Super Bowl rings and shut the hell up.
Oh, man.
Hey,
that was such a Miami Hurricane thing to say.
We gonna get out.
Nah, bro. It's like not even no shade, bro. Hey, bro. It's happening with Julian Love. Probably finna happen with Saquon. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Only thing I can do. Hope that Malik Nabers and this new and improved or new looking Giants, up the bar this year. Because they definitely wasn't exciting to watch last year.
Yeah, I'm gonna love watching
Drew Lock starting.
Huh?
Hell nah, dude.
I'm gonna definitely see love watching Drew Lock throw for y'all.
Shedeur Sanders.
Anybody other than Danny broke down.
I'm just gonna say, bro. I don't need the Giants winning a couple games at the beginning of the season to get my hopes up. If they finna lose, just lose from the beginning, bro. Get a top 3 pick and get me a damn quarterback, bro.
Hey.
That's all I'm gonna say. But at number 94, we got Trevor Lawrence of the Jaguars, quarterback, coming off that very big extension that he has with the team. How you feel about him, Byron?
275 M's. Doesn't get your money. I'm not gonna say you don't need to get your money. Go get what they gonna pay you. I'm not saying you don't. If they say you're gonna make this amount of money, make. But as of he hasn't showed anything in my eyes that he deserves that kind of pay or that kind of money. But if Duval gonna pay it, hey, sign the check because I signed it too. Wonderful, wonderful talent out of high school, college. Now didn't even lose a game till he got to the pros. Wonderful, wonderful resume. Now he just has to improve that talent with the roster that they have, with the more stable offense that they're gonna have now. Moving on to year 2, I believe, in the same offense. First time he had year 2 or year 3, I believe, in this offense. I believe we talked about this. Go check out these last episodes, y'all, and drop in the comments, let me know. But wonderful, wonderful player. I love his game, love his talent. Now he just needs to elevate it and push it to the next level and show everybody that he's deserving of 275 M's. Because 21 touchdowns and 14 picks doesn't scream it.
That's not gonna get it done at all. I'm here in Duval, the 904. I like to call him Prince because he is the Prince of the city.
Sunshine.
But exactly. But at the end of the day, I think Trevor Lawrence has top 5 talent, quarterback wise. He just hasn't put it together. He has a good coaching staff now. I think Doug Peterson worked wonders for him. And man, if we could get him some better receivers and maybe deepen their offensive line, but it's also about him too. Like they had an incredible comeback against the Chargers, I believe, a couple years ago, and that ultimately got their coach fired. But I want to see a lot from Trevor Lawrence this year. We talked about it, like Brian said, another video. Go check out those videos. And yeah.
Horrible game, by the way.
Yeah. Regardless of the situation this year, after getting a contract like that, you got to show better numbers than what he had last year. Yeah. I think anything other than a playoff appearance at this date and time with him, it's kind of a disappointment. Just because I do see the talent that he possesses and the ceiling's really high for him. And you've seen it in spurts. You've seen where he was a top 5 quarterback for spurts of different weeks in the league. It's kind of him more being consistent and staying on that consistent level. And I feel like once everything starts to click for him, we'll start seeing the changes and the better stats, better decision making, all things of that nature.
I did want to highlight real quick too, because I think this person will come up later on in the rankings. Joe Burrow. He did lose one game in college, and that was to Joe Burrow and those LSU Tigers, his second year in that national championship.
Yeah. But didn't they lose to Justin Fields at Ohio State?
I think they beat Justin Fields, and that's how they went to the championship. But it was like an epic-ass game.
I'm talking about the year after. Who was the quarterback for?
For who?
For Clemson?
Lost to Ohio State, right?
I'm pretty sure Clemson beat Ohio State. It was off of a controversial defensive pass interference. That they
Hail Mary.
Nah, it was like Justin Fields made it to the national championship. He played Clemson one of those years, and they got there. In the national championship, Alabama beat the heck out of them. It was.
I don't think Justin Fields beat. Hey, I could be wrong. Hey, Justin Fields fans, we know Byron is the primary Justin Fields fan. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, you got it?
The All-State Sugar Bowl, Ohio State 49, Clemson 28. Trevor Lawrence 400 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Justin Fields 385 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Shout out Khalil, Mr. Pull them stats up.
No, it's because I watched the game and I remember it specifically because that's if you remember the play where the linebacker nailed Justin Fields and they called the target and he got ejected from the game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's been a minute since I've seen Justin Fields.
Yeah, I remember that specifically because Chris Olave went off that game too.
Right. Was that a third year? That was their third year, right?
Yeah, this was like literally
Okay.
after that
Yeah.
game, they both went out for the draft.
Yeah.
All right, number 93, we got Harrison Smith of the Minnesota Vikings, free safety. Want to go ahead and tell me how you feel about that, Brock?
Another consistent guy, getting already long in the tooth as an NFL player, but
35.
steady run defender. I think he's really good in zone. And I don't want to predict the player's downfall, but maybe he use this as motivation if you happen to see this video. I think this could be his last year on this list right here.
Sure. You want to go ahead?
Like Brodrick said, she's man, 13 years with the Vikings. I love it. You stay consistent enough to stay with your own team. Not many people get to say that in their career, especially 13 years of it. Last year, 93 combined tackles, one of the best in your career. 6 sacks, which is great for a safety, free safety at that. 6 Pro Bowls and All Pro honors. Even though I think honors is disrespectful, I want to be on that list if you're gonna do me like that. But wonderful player. I love his game, man. Hard hitter.
For sure. Just consistent guy. Been one of the best safeties in the leagues for a while now, just between his IQ and the good zone coverage, how good he is in run support. He'll really knock somebody's block off. Also, I got to put in Madden disrespected my man's speed.
Right.
But like you said, he's getting older up there in age, and as you get older, especially playing football, all that kind of starts to wear and tear on your body. So we might see some slight decrease in numbers, but I still see him being a very important piece and focal point to their defense, as he knows so much about the game. All right, number 92, we got your guy, Aaron Rodgers, quarterback New York Jets.
Hey man, 4-time MVP, 10-time Pro Bowler, man. Shout out AA Rod. Disrespectful to be this high on this list, but obviously he's not liked. But I mean, you're in New York, so I mean, big name. They don't like us out there nowhere. So let's win the Super Bowl this year. Coming off that torn Achilles, you play a position as long as you can be somewhat mobile in that pocket. You have an arm that not many people have seen since that boy Dan Marino. So, hey, throw the ball with wonderful accuracy, great precision, wonderful things that you can still do at the age of 40. Let's do it, man. Win the Super Bowl for the Jets.
Go ahead and give me your take, Brock.
Obviously, quarterback for my team. I expect them to have a solid year. I want to see them utilize the running game to have balance with Breece Hall, and then also see what he does to unlock the game of Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson has the talent to be a top 10 receiver in the league. I want to see his production match that, and I think if we get that, we'll have a very successful year in the explosive offense. So I want to see what he looks like coming off of this Achilles injuries, and we'll have to see if number 92 on the list end up running for president in a couple of years. He's that type of personality, but I do think he's a solid leader in that locker room, and he the king of New York right now. So shout out Aaron Rodgers.
Said my biggest concern with him is just the torn Achilles he's going to be coming off of. I know some people come back and they're not the same, but if there's anybody that can kind of not miss a beat, it's going to be Aaron Rodgers, especially at this age. He still has one of the best arms in the league, very accurate quarterback, and just can fit the ball anywhere it needs to be fit. And that says volumes, especially he's playing into this old age. Having a quarterback that can play into this old age and be elite like that, that's really not heard of. Only other old age quarterback I really know that can do these types of things was Tom Brady. So I feel like if Aaron Rodgers has a probably it doesn't even have to be a great season. If he has a good season, to where, like Brock said, they can balance out the offense, the Jets can definitely make a run in the playoffs.
And that's
Yeah,
not
and
disrespect old quarterbacks now. We seen
oh
Peyton
no,
Manning and Brent Favre be old and still doing their thing now. The Sheriff went out on top.
Bro, it's just who come to mind, bro.
I feel you. I'm just
Come to mind over
messing
like the
with you.
past years.
Yeah, I
yeah,
feel
nah,
you.
seeing Garrett Wilson get 1,000+ yards in these 3 seasons with trash quarterback play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to see him hit these 1,600 type numbers.
Mm.
Next, we got number 90 or number 91 on the list. Another guy out there from Seattle, Reek Woolen, cornerback for the Seahawks. How we feeling about him, Byron?
Love his game, snatching. You showed me to draft him when we do these NFL fantasy drafts. That boy got that speed. Wonderful, wonderful cornerback. 53 tackles, 2 interceptions last year. They're not really throwing to his side a lot. He's a really good shutdown corner, and he's going to continue to elevate his game and get better.
Sure.
He
You
had a
go ahead, bro.
sophomore. Yeah, he had a sophomore slump.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely don't think he was as good as his rookie year. But still has those physical attributes. I think your second year, a lot of it's about the mental aspect as teams figure out how we want to attack you because we don't have any pro film on you. So a lot of players, well, not a lot. That's the reason he had an exceptional rookie year, but he had a great rookie year. And I want to see him put it together his third year, get back to being compared to the likes of, you know what, I got to disrespect Jalen Ramsey, even though he is no legend. The best cornerback in the game, you know, who played for my team as well, Sauce Gardner. Sauce with the sauce. I want to see him get back to being compared to Sauce Gardner this coming year.
Definitely he has all the intangibles to be an elite great cornerback. That he showed in his rookie year. Dude 6'4", elite speed. Um, just that alone, he's a physical specimen. Makes him a physical specimen. And just pairing him with Devin Witherspoon, they have a chance to be an elite tandem for the Seahawks. Kind of just two lockdown corners that they walk themselves into. And they have that new head coach, which Mike McDonald, which that can kind of help him get back to what he was doing his rookie year. Like I said, great ball hawk, great on ball skills, and he has that recovery speed to make up for any time he gets beat. So I can definitely see him having a great comeback season. All right. So
Shout out Seattle with 2 DBs on this list, getting back to that, you know, hopefully Legion of Boom style days.
Hopefully
sure.
not.
Number 90, we got Devonta Smith, Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver. How we feeling about him, bro?
I love him in the role that he's in. I think he can be a top level number 2 receiver in the league, which brings a lot of value nowadays. We're in a passing league. I'm surprised that my guy still hasn't put on not significant like he needed it. Obviously, he won a Heisman without significant weight, but the physicality of the league. I think he's been great in spurts, awesome in spurts, but I like to see a little bit more consistency from Devonta Smith coming up on, what is this, his third or fourth year? Had to be about his third or fourth year, maybe fourth year.
I think it's his third. I think it's his third.
Okay. I ain't gonna argue with the stat, man. So his third
Don't
year.
cry. Don't cry.
And definitely, I think he's a great number 2 receiver, and I like to see what he does this year for the Eagles.
Oh, no, you should argue with you, man.
Yeah, I think he's not, because he just got his contract extension. Wonderful, wonderful, slender man. Shout out to him, snatching. 1,000+ yard receiver, 7 touchdowns last year. Ranked amongst the top receivers in the game, like Brodrick said. A wonderful number 2, which is great to be in a high-powered passing offense. Just a high-powered offense in general. With AJ Brown being a great running mate, both of those guys getting paid. Let's see what these guys do this year, man. Him moving up 10 spots from what he was last year, being number probably 99 or 100, which is great seeing him move up on this list. I can see him moving up a lot higher as he progresses and grows his game. And like Roger said, put on some weight.
For sure. As once he starts putting weight on, he's definitely gonna become a problem. Or more of a problem than he is now. He like you said, he's good in spurts. Remember there was one play he made against the Giants on a fourth down where he just went in up top. I forgot who it was. I don't really care who it was. But
Probably Eli Apple.
He up topped them for a touchdown, pretty much on a fourth down play. Just got paid. He's been pretty consistent these these first 3 years. And I see him just to kind of build off of that, especially this Eagles picking up another threat in Saquon Barkley. I feel like this is going to open up a lot more for him, especially in the passing game. Very good route runner. Like I said, the only thing kind of missing with him is he kind of disappears sometimes in some games. Number 89, we got Buda Baker of the Arizona Cardinals, safety. You want to tell me how you feel about him, Byron?
Buda Baker, man, great safety. Run stopper is his game. Get into the running back, stopping the quarterback, and blitzing him mostly. Wonderful tackler. Older in this game, 12th season, I believe. Had a hamstring injury most recently. Try to get back his lift and his legs and his wheels for the safety position to be able to run with these fast athletes on the other side of the ball. But I still think DBs are some of the greatest athletes in the game because they have to run just as fast but backwards. And I think he does it at a pretty high level, playing for that Cardinals defense in at his old age.
Buda Baker, one of the best safeties in the league. I really hate the fact that the highlight that we know him for him, he's getting ran down by DK Metcalf. That's what a lot of people remember him for. But it's also like he's such a good player, and that just sucks that that's the situation. But to keep it short about him, consistent player on that defense, I think he's a player that we're going to have the same reverence for. Maybe not as much, but in a Harrison Smith type situation in a couple years into his career.
For sure. Great player, great safety, good IQ. He'll put somebody on their ass as well. One of the hard hitters of the league. He was on pace for another 100 tackle season before he got hurt and was only limited to 12 games this year. He is going to be a free agent at the end of this year. So I expect him to kind of have a great season, kind of just coming playing into a contract year. But I definitely expect him to be elite as he's been. Next on the list at 88, we got another offensive lineman. We got Chris Lindstorm of the Atlanta Falcons. He plays offensive guard. Tell me how you guys feel about him.
I think he just got paid. He just got the bag, maybe the top bag on the offensive guard in the league at this point. So loved him coming out of Boston College, obviously. I'm about to say ACC guy. I'm a Florida State guy. I watch a lot of ACC football. Was great when he was there. It's not surprised that, he just got this big contract. Love the fact that he's going to be leading the way, blocking for Bijan Robinson and I believe Tyler Algieri at running back, but also protecting up that middle for what's my guy named? Kirk
Frost.
Or Michael Penix. So yeah, well deserved.
I believe Michael Penix. 5-year extension, like Brodrick said, wonderful player, starting 16 games for him last year, only allowing about 3 sacks. Very consistent player, guard on that inside. God bless you. Guard on the inside, guarding those big guys as the likes of Aaron Donald. I'm pretty sure he's glad he retired. Uh, but yeah, so he has to still do these day in and day out, being in the trenches. And as Brodrick alluded to earlier, being able to stop a man that's running at a decent pace before you get up and put your hands on him is very, very hard to do. And to be wonderful at that, I think you definitely deserve to be paid like it, which he just did a 5-year extension for the NFL.
98% efficiency rate for the second straight year. Pro Bowl honors second straight year. Allowing just 3 sacks in 16 games, and 10 QB hurries in 16 games. That just says a lot to what he does as a player, as a protector of his quarterback. And definitely feel like he played a big part in Bijan Robinson having the type of season that he had last year. So he definitely proved that he was worth that contract extension. Next, we got another New York Jets guy at 87, Hassan Reddick of the New York Jets, outside linebacker. Tell me how you feel about him.
Let's go, man. I'm loving the pickup from the Eagles. 11 sacks, I believe 16 the previous year. Just a wonderful, wonderful run stopper. He gets to the quarterback and disrupt any kind of offensive flow that you got going on. It's going to take a lot of attention to block Hassan Reddick, especially with our defensive line that we're going to have, and Quentin Williams, and getting his new contract. Then we picked up Ken Law from San Fran. We still have wonderful guys in Jermaine Johnson. Yeah, no Cole.
No Cole.
Come on, man. Our defensive line is going to be up there with the likes of San Francisco. Defense is just crazy in general. I think if he just comes to play after he gets paid, first off, because he definitely still needs to get paid.
I was going to ask you, did he report yet?
No. And he's an older player, so I understand why. I think the Jets just need to figure out some things, and especially with New York being one of the highest state tax places, he's trying to figure out a way to wiggle that around and keep a lot of his money with his contract, which I can completely understand. Just find a way to pay him, Jets. Just find a way to pay him. This is a 4 to 5 year, 10 sack plus guy. We need that. I feel like with losing Huff, Huff was more of a scheme for 10 sack kind of guy.
This is
Reddick is I will go get you 10 sacks. No matter how they come, I'm gonna get them. You don't have to scheme for me to get 10 sacks kind of
guy. I mean, honestly, short term, he an upgrade from Huff. I'm being honest. Like you said, he gonna get you. I love Huff. He gonna get you double-digit sacks regardless. But Huff went and got the bag.
I understand it. I definitely understand it.
I like Reddick. I hope he reports soon, man. Just to get that chemistry with his teammates. I would like to see, him rotate more. I think it's going to benefit him. Obviously came from a great rotational depth chart with the Eagles, but, the Jets have Will McDonald from a first-round pick. I want to see him in there, but I think he's going to teach him a lot. Going to be a great mentor, but also a standout player on a standout defense this year.
That's what I was going to say. Once they get everything figured out and he winds up reporting or whatever happens, he's not only going to increase the value of their D-line, make them better, but he's also going to play a big role in mentoring the younger guys and getting them up to par and playing a big part in their development. As like you guys said, he's a 10-plus sacks a year type of guy. So, yeah. Next, number 86, we got Saquon I'm-a-Trader Barkley of the Philadelphia Eagles.
How you feel about it?
Me?
Yeah, how you feel about Saquon?
Like, well, I mean, the personal feeling in me is he can go to hell.
Oh.
Man broke my heart, bro. But
Hey,
I mean, he's Saquon Barkley, one of the most athletic running backs in the game. When healthy, causes a lot of problems. Very elusive, very agile, an elite running back. And I expect him to take off with the Philadelphia Eagles this year as they have the O-line to be able to protect him and open up those holes and gaps for him.
I think that option game is going to be incredible for Saquon this year. Glad he got paid because their running back position is so devalued in the NFL. So I'm glad he was able to secure some money. And obviously, like you just alluded to, it's a big difference between the O-lines of the Giants and the Eagles, arguably going to the best O-line in the NFL. They be getting every running back that comes through Philadelphia paid. Shout out Miles Sanders.
That would have a 2,000-yard season if we're being real.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a monster this year. And like I said, the option game with Jalen Hurts is going to be something to deal. And they got the receivers. Probably both their receivers going to be on this list. Actually, I'm 100% sure the tight end might make it too. So, yeah. Shout out Saquon.
You know they freaking the tackles finna make it on this list too. Some of they old line.
Yeah.
true. I love Saquon's game. Being a former running back, never have the calves is the calves that this man has. But wonderful electric. He has great hands. Also as a receiving back. But me personally, I feel like both sides. Well, I didn't say both sides. One, the Giants messed up by not trading him a long time ago. Because he is injury prone. Not one of the healthier guys, but obviously who can't stay healthy behind the trash Giants offensive line. Especially as you were holding the whole team on your back. So hopefully he can probably stay a lot healthier and get rid of that stigma of being an injury prone kind of guy, or at least in my eyes, and hold himself together in a way better situation in the Eagles, and bring that 962 yards rushing back into those thousands, and keeping his reputation up there. And I'm glad he got paid his money. And the Giants, they lost nothing. Well, they didn't get anything
They
back.
gained nothing. They should have traded him.
Yeah, years ago, at least 2 years ago.
Hey, fuck it. We're gonna suck forever.
Or pay him, which y'all could have did because he wanted to stay.
Hey, bro, I ain't got no parts of that, man.
Danny Dimes, 90 mil.
That boy finna bring us to the promised land, man.
Danny Dimes or Saquon?
Come on, bro. You can ask my 1-year-old daughter that question. She's gonna say Saquon. You could have gave me Saquon and let Drew Lock be quarterback, and I would have been happy this year.
Facts. But hey, they already paid him the money, so they stuck like Chuck.
I don't think he wanted to be there. I saw.
No, he wanted to be there. He loved New York.
Maybe so.
He probably wanted to be there until he realized that the Giants wasn't messing with what he wanted from them.
Yeah. I saw a video, I don't know if it was Hard Knocks, where I believe he was talking to the GM. And the GM was basically what you just said. They had a certain number in mind and they wanted them back. But he was like, well, I already told you where I wanted to be. Like, that's what he said. So I was like, damn,
yeah,
man.
That number, man. You got to make that money.
Right.
It's a business, like you said earlier, man. If you're not willing to pay me what I believe I'm worth, sometimes the organization can. If you're not as good as certain a lot of these players, the market and the organization will dictate what you're worth. But if you're great, you can dictate what you're worth.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's that great. He was that high value to the Giants organization to where he could dictate that, especially after being franchise tagged 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Nah, they ain't even franchise tag him this year. They could have, but they didn't.
Oh, well, yeah, trying to save all the money they can. This collective bargaining agreement and these aprons are getting crazy.
Hell yeah. We finna sign Darius Slayton to a 7-year deal next.
Hey, not that part.
But nah, And at number 85, we got Tristan Wirfs of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, another elite O tackle. You guys want to tell me how you feel about him?
Another Iowa guy. They know how to produce offensive
That
linemen and
corn,
tight
dude.
ends.
That
So
corn.
exactly. Had an awesome rookie year. I think they won the Super Bowl his rookie year. And it's hard to live up to that when you come out guns blazing like that. Still think he's a dominant old tackle in the league. And I actually expect him to be a lot higher on this list. But, you know, it's different when you go from Tom Brady to Baker Mayfield, and that's no disrespect. Baker Mayfield had a decent season last year. He had a good season last year, and I think as they gain more chemistry as far as, where Baker likes to escape the pocket, how long he likes to sit in the pocket, how long he takes to do certain things, as that chemistry grows, he still has the talent, and I expect Tristan to be higher on this list this coming year.
Sure.
Nah, man, wonderful outside tackle going against these elite edge rushers. He was on this list last year, pushing himself up even higher and higher. Coming up on his prove it year. All he has to do is do what he's been doing since he's entered the league and be one of the top tackles, and he's gonna get paid. 3-time consecutive Pro Bowler. Can't get no better than that. Just keep increasing your athletes, young man, and you're gonna get there. One type of talents in the game.
At 25 years old, coming in, like you said, this last year of his rookie contract, pretty much becoming a veteran of the game. I didn't even know he was in the league for this long.
Crazy.
But and every year he's had in this league, he's had pretty much an elite season. 4 seasons in a row of an 80+ PFF grade. And his second highest, and he has second highest passing grade among O tackles this year or last year. So I expect the same this year, probably even better as he starts to come even more into his own, especially knowing he has to play on an elite level to get that bag.
I don't want to be hyperbolic, but his career arc is very Joe Thomas-esque. Legendary player for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just been goated since he stepped on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's missed any games either. No.
He's been very consistent.
At number 84, we got another physical specimen. Seattle Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf. Tell me how you feel about him.
As Brodrick alluded to earlier, that's him hawking down Buda Baker about 90-something yards, which is ridiculous. At the size and weight that this man is, 1,100 plus yards, 66 receptions, 8 touchdowns, averaged about 16.7 yards per reception, which is a first down plus, which is great. Not earning Pro Bowl selection last year, which is ridiculous for these numbers. But I mean, a lot of those receivers last year did put up some crazy numbers, so I can only understand. And then him having the receiving core that he has in Tyler Lockett and Najee. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Wonderful top receiver in this league, still, I believe, and deserving it so.
Dude's elite, pretty much. He's been elite since he's come into the league. It seems like at least once a year he's making some type of play where it's just all over ESPN, all over our news feeds. I believe there was one video I seen where he was running a slant. He wound up dropping the ball, but the dude tried to blow through him, and he just didn't move or nothing. And dude wound up hurting himself laying on the ground or something like that. Yeah, he's a tank. Once again, I don't believe anybody this fat or this tall and big should be running this fast. But he defies those odds. He's been a productive, consistent receiver since coming into the league.
Like LeBron on the field.
DK, athletic specimen. Always has been an athletic specimen. Um, Honestly, I expect his number to be better than what they are, and I'm not gonna have no Geno Smith slander tonight. So, with me saying that, man, that ball he has to be spread around a lot. I think I forget the name of the running back, Kenneth Walker. They also got Zach Charbonnet, obviously Tyler Lockett and Jack Smith and Jigma out of the slot. So there's a lot of mouths to feed there. So maybe that has to do with why he doesn't have
Definitely.
Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown type numbers, but I do think that he fits into that category talent wise.
It says like right here, Tyler Lockett, and Smith and Jigba. First time in Seahawks history that they had 3 receivers with each in the top 60 in receptions and 600 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns apiece.
Yeah, they're spreading that thing around.
Yeah, everybody give me love.
All right, next on the list, we got another hard hitter in Derwin James of the Los Angeles Charger, free safety. How we feeling about him, bro?
Who knows, DBU. Size, my boy being this high up on the list, but it is what it is.
What was that, like number
Awesome.
30?
Awesome in coverage, awesome as a run defender. You know, Derwin's faced a lot of injuries in college and in the pros. Hopefully he can stay healthy this year. And I expect him to sneak way higher up this list. Because talent-wise, I think at the free safety position, he has the most talent in the NFL. And that includes guys like Kyle Hamilton. You know, I love Kyle Hamilton. He's great mentally, but physical talent and just being able to be athletic, be instinctive on the field. I don't think no safety has the skill set as Derwin James. And I know there's lofty praise, but hey, go check out Derwin James highlights on any level of him playing football, even in the pros. Every year that he's healthy, he's on the all-pro teams, not just the Pro Bowl, he's on the all-pro teams as well. Every year he's healthy, which unfortunately hasn't been every year, but hopefully he gets it done this year. Go Noles.
Nah, definitely one of my favorite safeties in the game, actually. Sorry about that. It's my dog, Naruto, trying to get some affection. One of my favorite safeties in the game, hard hitter. Glad he got paid. Down year as a whole in defense. As a Charger, I mean, they allowed more touchdowns than they scored on the season. 47 touchdowns allowed to 36 only scored throughout the whole year. I feel like that's not a accurate perception of his game. I think they can definitely get their whole defense as a whole up as the Chargers, and I think with Harbaugh, who's a wonderful, wonderful recruiter and a leader of men, we can get them on the right track and boost that defense back up, and keep him in getting those all pros. We need to go this way, Naruto. Come on.
Another elite, consistent guy. Don't really think there's any holes in his game. Good in zone coverage, good in man coverage, can come play in the box, good in run support. Just the true leader on that defensive team. And he kind of had a down year PFF grade wise. But like I said, that has a lot to show and just kind of their defensive scheme. I don't really think it had to do with him. I think it's more of just the Chargers in general. Just with the new coaching staff they have, I expect all that to improve and them to utilize Derwin James to the fullest of his ability and for him to come back next year and be higher up on the list. Number 82, we got Montez Sweat of the Chicago Bears playing D-end. How we feeling about him, bro?
I like what I saw from him. He was a mid-season trade acquisition from the Washington Commanders. I've always liked him. He's always been a player that I've picked on Madden, but I like his pass rushing ability, and the Bears need that. And I think he's going to be a huge piece to that Bears defense this year. I'm looking forward to see what he provides as far as mentorship, but also abilities on the field. I expect him to be in that Pro Bowl at least conversation. But if I'm having a hot take, and being bold, I expect him to make the Pro Bowl this year. Maybe that's not even a hot take, but I expect him to
He
make
made it last year.
Yeah,
He
I
made it
was.
last
Yeah, I
year.
was about to say. Yeah, I was about to say it's not a hot take. He gonna make it again.
He made it
For
last
sure.
year.
With the late acquisition pick from the trade deadline of getting Sweat from Brandon Washington out to now with the Chicago Bears, they were cleaning house in Washington on that defensive line. And he landed in a wonderful position, transforming that defense towards the end of the year, and the Bears actually becoming a better defense towards the end of the season. And hopefully they can improve and get a lot better. With him getting 12.5 sacks and a couple for forced pressures onto the quarterback, he can just continue to elevate his game and become one of the most feared DNs in the league.
For sure. He definitely has the intangibles to be an elite edge rusher. I feel like he's finally starting to put everything together as he's coming off his best season last year with the 12.5 sacks. He's going to play a big part in the Bears defense, as he's going to be that DN that can come shoot right off of the edge and kind of get on the quarterback's ass. I do definitely like the Bears picking him up. I feel like this is where he's going to take kind of even more of a leap this year. Number 81, we got Kirk Cousins, Atlanta Falcons quarterback.
Kirk Chains, coming off an Achilles injury. Was it Achilles or ACL? Sorry, ACL.
Achilles.
Is it Achilles as well? Okay, yeah. ACL, Achilles as well. Being a lot of about 35, 36, I believe. He's going to turn this year. I would say, like I always say, shout out to his agent for always getting him the most money guaranteed as any quarterback could. Over $100 million guaranteed for him in this contract. Hopefully he can live up to that for this young receiving core that they have down there in London, and I forgot the other guy on the other side.
Can't forget Kyle Pitts.
And having Pitts, yeah, and having Kyle Pitts. Hey, you could have gave that man that money, paid for all his jerseys, and got that 8. But hey, hopefully he has a decent year this year. Don't wish you luck.
I think Kirk is now the best quarterback in the division. I think I have high expectations for the Falcons this year. Obviously, Byron mentioned Drake London, bringing up Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Tyler Algieri. We got Chris Lindstrom blocking for him. Jake Matthews is also on that offensive line. Not sure how I feel about the coaching hire. He is coming off of a devastating injury. But at the same time, he also has a fire being lit under him by a team literally picking a quarterback at number 8 overall. He's going to have to elevate his game. He's going to have to be good this year and next year to keep Michael Penix from coming in with him. We know if they start off in a rough situation, the fans are going to be cheering for Michael Penix to come in the game. So I think with the leadership and the talent that he has, he's going to be able to get them to the playoffs. But like I mentioned in the previous video, Kirk Cousins, his record is what it is in the playoffs. But I think I expect him to have a good season. Hopefully he can stay healthy. But if he's not, I'm not against putting a rookie in the game, even if pay the guy.
So, definitely feel like he needs to have an elite type of season to keep his job, as I believe Michael Penix, even being a rookie quarterback, can definitely come in and take over the pressure of being a starting quarterback. That being said, he's in a division where the talent's not so great, so I can definitely see him propelling the Falcons to lead in the division. Like I said, what is it? The Buccaneers, Saints, Panthers, Falcons in the division. And he's a quarterback that always throws for a lot of passing yards, regardless of the situation. So I don't see that changing. He was on pace for over 4,000 passing yards and over 30 passing touchdowns last year before he got hurt. And then we got one more at number 80. Get to it. Number 80, we got a tight end coming off a pretty great rookie season in Sam Laporta of the Detroit Lions. How are we feeling about him, Brock?
That's awesome. Be a rookie on this list. He came in high praise in the draft, obviously, in Iowa, tight end. They produced them linemen and them tight ends. They know what they're doing on the line of scrimmage. Not surprising at all. I do believe he's the number 2 weapon in Detroit, but even that lends itself because they have such a high octane passing attack. Well, probably going to be we got to see what Jameson Williams does, but obviously Amon-Ra is number 1. But I think him and Jameson Williams and Laporta are going to battle for that number 2 position. But I don't think it's even arguable. Laporta is better at the tight end right now than Jameson is at the receiver position. Good blocker. Think he can improve there. He's still a rookie. He's going to add functional strength to his body. He's a young guy still growing as a man. When he gets that grown man strength, he's going to be up there. And I mean, he's already close to being up there, if not mention him with the likes of George Kittle, Dallas Goedert. And I don't put nobody in Kelsey's category, but he's right up there in that second tier of tight ends. And that's super impressive this early in his career.
No, most definitely 80+ catches, almost 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, elite from a rookie. Like Brodrick said, he just needs to get his grown man strength and to moving into that next level of the NFL type blocking, and he'll get to those mentioning in Kittle and other elite top receiving tight ends names in that passing offense that he has down there with Jared Goff and that newly revived Lions team in general. Just turn the Detroit Lions into a wonderful air raid offense.
Yep, definitely with his 86 receptions and 800+ receiving yards. Not only is it elite as a rookie pass catcher, it's elite as any tight end in the league. Behind obviously Travis Kelce, who can't be compared to right now. But he just came and fit right in for them, played a big part in their offense. If it wasn't St. Brown going off in the game, it was him going off. So, him and St. Brown created that tandem, and I expect them both to build off of this, especially with Jared Goff having his breakout year. Like I said, I expect the Lions to continue to be up there in the top rankings, especially their D-line and everything.
I say this.
Yeah, you always need that wonderful safety net, man. The safety net is pivotal, and being as elite as he is, to be an elite safety net as amongst the Andrews and all those other guys, he's gonna keep elevating his game.
Shout out to the Detroit Lions just for how they built that team out, just from the offensive and defensive perspective. For the offense, they got Jameson to take off the top. Amon-Ra is elite of the elite in that intermediate to deep field. Laporta, the same areas of the field to the short is extended, and they got Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery in the backfield. They each have a thunder and lightning skill set with a perfect elite game manager type quarterback in Jared Goff. They were impossible to stop last year. And a lot of these guys are still young. Jameson is still coming back from his injuries. I expect a big year for him. And this is going to be Laporta's second year. And a lot of their guys just got paid. Shout out Penei Sewell, who I expect to be high on this list. Yeah, man. Shout out Detroit and shout out Sam.
For sure. And like I said, they was one play away from making it to the Super Bowl.
They were dominating 49ers, but got ran down.
Yeah. It took an incredible second half from the 49ers. So
undoubtedly, they probably shouldn't have been in that position with the game previous, but hey.
And I think the Lions did get help on the defensive line. Detroit fans, y'all still rocking with us at this point. It's been a long one. They picked up a defensive tackle. I can't remember off the top of my head who it was, but it was a veteran defensive tackle to help out because they couldn't stop the run. Like, even though it was a big deficit, 49ers just said, you know what, we're going to start playing our brand of football, and they started running it.
DJ Reader?
Yeah, but could have been. That sounds like it might have been the name.
I know he's coming off a pretty good season. So
yeah.
Well, he was with the Texans, not Texans, the Tennessee.
So you with somebody. I can't remember on the top of my
head.
Probably the Bengals.
Yeah.
DJ Reader played for the Bengals, yeah.
There you go.
And that's like the only one. I know they got a Liam McNeil who's starting to come into his own, but he's been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it has to be DJ Reader.
Yeah.
All these other guys are.
Yeah, I think it was Reader.
Ooh, shit.
Yep. But hey, if you guys made it to the end, we appreciate you guys listening out. I know it's been a long podcast, but we try to bring you guys the best content. Sometimes that takes some time, but we're more than happy to take any suggestions in the comments, talk about what you guys want to talk about. Been a fun podcast, and we look forward to having you guys watch it and listen to your insight.
Yes.